Top. Okay, then I just want to say welcome everyone. My name is Samaya. I've been working with Healy for around 8 months or something now, and we are really privileged to have you here, Jan Frederik, Poleszynski, on this webinar today. You are the founder of Deep Cycle, and I'm so excited to go deeper into the deep cycles and know and learn more about it, because we know in the time we are living in right now, it's needed more than ever before. And we are so lucky that Healy can help us with that process of detoxing, because I guess we all know that that's not always easy to detox the body. It demands quite a lot of us, and to get that assistance, I think, is really great. But I don't know enough about the deep cycle yet, and I'm really looking forward to dive into this today. So Anna, do you want to introduce Jan Frederik, and then we can just go straight on so we get the most out of this webinar today?
I think I could probably use 1 hour just to introduce you, Jan Frederik, but I'll try to make it short. You have a very comprehensive background. You're founder of Clinic of Integrative Medicine and Innovita AS. You are a CEO, practitioner, teacher, and you've been focusing on electromedicine and integrative medicine since 2008. 20 years prior to that, he was working as an IT professional and inventor and innovator in the industry. And then you have background from 14 years of studies of electromagnetism and to some extent quantum physics, biology, bioelectricity, and medicine in a broad perspective, from my understanding. Natural medicine, alternative medicine, nutrition, general medicine, etc. And that is combined with running a clinic for integrative medicine for 10 years. That has given you a lot of valuable experience in a very holistic understanding of health and disease, as you call it. And you said as well that nature is your religion. And yeah, we are very excited. I would love to hear or learn so much more about this. But since we have Deep Cycle and Detox as the main focus now, I would just like to start with asking you what inspired you and what was the background for wanting to develop the Deep Cycle programs?
Well, first of all, it's Deep Cycle is a result of experience in the clinic. And we quickly understand that everything moves in cycles, and including your menstruation cycle, your circadian cycle, which is regulated by sunlight. And every growth and every development of the human body and nature is governed by cycles. So when I do my treatments with the time waiver frequency, the professional device, I experienced after some years that I tend to go into special cycles and people needing the same things. So it made sense to make automation programs for the time waiver systems, which were prior to the Healy. So that's a time waiver frequency professional. And then you have the timer home, and then came the Healy, which was a small device you could use on mobiles, of course. So it was a natural extension of that. The other thing is that you said, by the way, it's integrative medicine. So you integrate a lot of fields into getting a synergy, which results in good results. And from the frequency and the energy, you can get information and you can get energy to do the job. But you need also other factors to integrate, and together they make a success. So Deep Cycle was a very inspired period when we saw we could do a lot for people, and we wanted to make this more or less automatic for practitioners around the world who didn't have the same type of experience yet. So that's the short one.
Wow, thank you. We also wanted, can you explain how the program works during its detox, and what is the best way to use it to get the best results?
Your audio was really crappy, but I think I got your question anyway. It was kind of just feedbacks and detox.
Say one more time, Anita, repeat it.
Okay, repeat it. Okay. So we're wondering if you can explain how the deep cycle program works during a detox, and how is it the best way to use to get the best results?
Yeah, this is kind of apology for being direct. It's kind of jumping the basics and taking a few points. It's like if you go to the doctor and you have a lot of problems, he says, take this pill. Of course, the answer is in two respects. It's one, we can generalize. We can say things that it applies for most people. The other thing always to keep in mind, we always are in different stages and different cycles ourselves. So in the clinic, we always do it individual, but there are some basic things. And to understand the basic things, you need to understand the basics about the body. So that's why I say, when somebody posted the answer, some questions for me yesterday, I said we could talk about it for one day, because if you don't understand the body, it doesn't make sense to talk about detoxing with Healy. It's just like, you know, no foundation. So I need to give you some foundation to understand this.
Yeah.
And I'll try to make it as short as possible.
Fantastic.
So anyway, every cell in your body is constituted of 99% of the molecules are water. So 99% of the molecules in the body are water. So it means if your water is not good, you are not good, because you are water and you're running on energy and information. That's what you are. And every cell needs to organize and do tasks. And to do this, it needs energy. And this energy we can measure in electric potential. And this is called volt. Like we have volt, 220 volt or 130 in US in our electric grid in the house. This voltage, this potential, is a potential to do work. So what is common for almost everybody is that this charge, this potential, which constitutes of negative charge, electrons with a minus, needs to be at a certain level to have your mobile phone work. If your mobile phone's battery doesn't have charge, it won't call anywhere and won't do anything. And this is the same basic for the cells. So this is the main principle you have to understand at all times. All the other things are secondary. Some people say, oh, it's all about the energy, or it's all about the information, or it's all about eating plants or not eating plants. It's all about having a happy cell with the right potential, because if the potential is correct, the electricity, the charge is correct, then you have the necessary nutrition, you are able to produce ATP, the energy molecule, you're able to reproduce, you're able to repair, you're able to exchange toxins, take in vitamins and minerals and use it. So this is the key. And in the body, there are two major organ systems to do this job. And that is the kidneys and the lungs. So the lungs and the kidneys, they do the, how do you say, it's called a pH buffer system. The buffer, the way to regulate the pH in the body. So what is pH? pH is potential hydrogen. So it means charge in water. Most people talk about pH, they don't understand anything about it, but it's electrical. It's electrical charge in the water. So it means that if the charge in the water, which is 99% of your molecules, is wrong, the charge in your cells are wrong. So therefore, the kidneys need to flush out the toxins, the acids, the plus charge, if you like. And if you can't do it, you need to compensate with the lungs. And if you breathe slowly, you produce carbon dioxide, which you in the pancreas then produce bicarbonate, which regulates the pH of the intestines. So this is the pH buffer system in a very short version. So you need to have the lungs and the kidneys work to balance them first. So if they don't work, nothing works. And who is the next one taking care of getting rid of the plus? So you have, that's your liver. So that's the liver detoxification system. And So you have the breath, you have the kidneys, you have the liver through the digestive system, and you have the lungs, and you have your skin, you can sweat it out. These are the detox channels. So therefore, when I have somebody coming to my clinic, I first define them as a kidney person or as a lung person, to put it simple. Most people are kidney persons. And the more stress you experience, the more it influences your kidneys. So most of the time, kidney oil, female or male, is a very good start for detoxification. Okay, I think you can have the next question, or I'll just continue forever.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you. So that actually brings me to the next question, because I've heard you say that you need to begin with the 3 first application before running the other programs in the deep cycle. But so you say that you can, if you say start. Oh, okay. that explains it.
I say it.
So it's perfectly safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's perfectly safe to go straight in and do the kidneys and breath. What is it called? For the lungs.
Breath of life is for the lungs.
Breath of life.
Yeah. So the thing is that now we're back to the individual things again, because people are different. They have different levels of toxins. They are more or less sensitive. They are more or less good to drink pure, clean, structured water. If you don't drink good water, you cannot detoxify. So you can do as much as you like of everything, but if you don't drink a couple of liters, depending on the size of your and how your activity of good water, you don't have a chance. If you don't have the salt, you don't have the minerals, you don't have a chance. So you have to think holistically. So I'm sorry, I lost the thread. A little bit tired today.
Yeah, that's amazing. It would be really interesting to hear more about what all the different things that you think is important, like the holistic whole picture of a detox, and how then you see that actually Healy is supporting that process. You know, why do you think like Healy is supporting that process? You said all this, how the body operates, and how can Healy support it?
Well, if you, there is a PDF describing all the Healy, the deep cycle programs. Yeah. Have you distributed it and you have it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because there it shows which body systems and the emotional systems are supported by the different programs. So if you take, let's take the kidney oil, which is for females or males. Obviously, females has uterus and ovaries and so on, and males has prostate, for example. So that's kind of difference, but the rest are more or less equal. It's the bladder function, it's the adrenals, it's the kidneys. So so if you need to strengthen one system, and normally kidneys is in an important detoxification system, important part of it, it's a good idea to start with kidney oil. The question was, can everybody do it, or is it dangerous or something? It's not dangerous. I mean, if you take one of the programs and you wake up next morning and you have a slight headache and you feel nausea and so on, okay, you're detoxifying. Great. But some people don't think it's great. Yeah. They want a soft start, and they say, oh, I'm so sensitive, I can't take this, or I need to keep my toxins inside longer, you know? So, and some people are very sensitive. So, okay, so let them start with the first program, second program, third program. So this is what I say, you know, if you're going to make a general rule, which I don't like, but I do it anyway, because everybody asking for general rules, I say to people, okay, you got the Healy, you're going to start treating your friend or family or somebody, you don't know how they are, give them a couple of glasses of water, do the first program. If everything's fine, do the second program. If everything's fine, do the third. And then you go try to find if you're going to do the kidneys, the lungs, or clean all, or what is needed.
Yeah, that is great. But I was thinking more how the Healy, the frequencies, like, because we're now using frequencies to help the detox process. So how would you say frequencies in itself is supporting a detox?
Well, I did actually say it in the beginning, but I didn't make the clear connection, so maybe it wasn't too easy to understand. And that's that is the frequencies, they are carried with currents. So there is a voltage going through your body when you have the hand or in the feet or the pads. So there's a current going through your body. So they excite the electrons and help increase the potential of the cell, which is the point. This is one point. By this, for example, kidney oil, we have specific frequencies looking to strengthen and support the kidneys.
Yeah.
So when I make this program, it looks for specific frequencies dedicated for the kidneys.
Yeah.
And I decide what frequency range and what databases to look in to support your kidneys. Then the system has some sort of free will where it can choose from some of the frequencies I tell it to use and see what is more relevant for you. So, so frequency, let's say there was a woman in my clinic many years ago, a family member, and she weighs 130 kilos, and obviously she has a kidney problem, along with other problems. And she came into the clinic and it was all full of people. And I thought, okay, I need to treat her kidneys. I started the kidney frequencies and I just put it on a couple of hours, you know, because I was planning to come back. But I was so busy with other people and she was my family, so I forgot about her. And she was laying there for 2 hours. And I came back, oh shit, I've been giving her frequencies for 2 hours for the kidneys. I thought, okay, well, you probably need it. So I turned it off and she went home. And a couple of days later, she called me and said, you know what, Jan? I lost 5 kilos in 2 days. I've been also going to the toilet every 15 minutes for 2 days. Because the frequencies really stimulated her kidneys and her liquid balance in the body. So she lost weight. So this was an example of what could happen if you are running kidneys too long in a person who has very low kidney function. Yeah. Did I answer your question now, or did I just talk about something else?
No, absolutely. That was great. Thank you.
So if you want more questions, I mean, the general thing with the frequencies, I mean, this, keep in mind, what are frequencies? Do everybody understand what is a frequency?
Yeah, so actually you're talking about the microcurrent, but what about the frequency that's coming out of Healy?
Yeah, what is coming out of the Healy is microcurrent.
Yeah.
Microcurrent with frequencies. So I think it's a good idea just to explain people what is frequency, because everybody's talking about frequency and most people don't understand frequency.
Yeah.
So maybe just that's a basic thing to know also. And it's quite simple actually, that what you see now is energy moving in frequency, in vibrations. And this guy Hertz, he found out that let's measure those vibrations of the electromagnetic frequencies, the waves, if you like waves on the ocean, per second. So that's why we call it 10 Hertz. That means 10 waves per second. And 100, 1 million, and etc. So everything we know physically, and everything we know actually. What we don't know, we talk about, we call it dark matter, and we call it spiritual things, and you know, we call things we cannot really grab it, we cannot really prove it, but we have a feeling it's there. That's okay. But everything we know, when you see me, it's vibration of energy, and if this vibration is quick enough, this frequency is quick enough, I appear solid. But you know, the distance from an atom, you can compare it with this one. The distance from the core, the nucleus of the atom, to the first vibration of energy, which is called the electron, is like the distance from this one to the moon. To the moon, from this one to the moon. And what they say in between is all empty space, right? So it means that we are just energy vibrating fast enough, like a TV screen. We used to have different video standards, and we had PAL in Europe and NTSC in United States. PAL meant 25 pictures per second, let's say 25 Hertz. So when you saw 25 pictures per second, you perceive it as fluid motion. You perceive it as a solid picture, just like you see me now. You're just saying frequency of me, my vibration. So everything is frequency, and obviously it makes sense to use this knowledge and the microcurrents which goes in your body anyway. Your body is all electric. Nothing works if it's not electric. But if you go to the hospital and they declare you dead, they don't say your electric system shut down, which is the thing what happened, because they measure your heart and they say, oh, your heart stopped. But what stopped? The electric wave from the heart stopped. And they say your brain is dead when there's no electric wave in the brain. So actually what they're doing is they measure your electric waves, your frequencies. This is what they measure. And this is what we are. Okay, that was that was frequency, vibration. Cheers.
Can I ask something, Jan Frederik?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I just got some results on from my blood sample tests from the doctor, and she said, you know, my cholesterol is way too high, and I really don't want to take any medication. So I was thinking to do a liver cleansing. I've done that before with really good results. With the Hulda Clark liver cleansing, and I was wondering how can the Healy or the program from the Deep Cycle support that process? Do you have any advice?
Do I have an answer to what program or any advice? Well, let's do both. Well, anyway, the thing is that one thing that this Deep Cycle, all the programs has in common. It starts with a sort of balancing of the physical organs and physical body. And in the end of most programs, there is a balance of the energy flow which is around your body. So all of them needs balance. So what you need is more balance. You are out of balance of some reason. And the doctors, they don't tell you this thing, that which is cholesterol is a very good thing. It's not a problem. Because the cholesterol is the basis of all your hormones. So if you want to wake up in the morning and do anything, you need cholesterol. If you're going to take care of virus like corona, you need cholesterol, because cholesterol is out there working and grabbing pathogens in your blood. So cholesterol is a good thing. And when you get sunlight, the cholesterol is converted to vitamin D, which is essential for the immune system. And the most people who live the longest, they have normally a relatively high cholesterol. So people with very low cholesterol who don't eat proper fat and proper food, they tend to die more early. So this is the cholesterol bluff. So that's number one. You probably don't need to do anything to lower your cholesterol, because your body produces more cholesterol to give you more hormones because you probably need it, or it needs to support your immune system or whatever. This is the reason for the increase of cholesterol. So your body needs more cholesterol, produce more cholesterol. And the doctor gives you a pill to take it away. That's just stupid. There's zero documentation showing that this reduces the risk of cardiac attack or anything. This research is lousy. I was in a hospital once and they tried to give me this kind of pills, and I said, give me the research that demonstrates this is a good idea. Because I know the research, and I don't know if you want to hear this story, but yeah, maybe I'll tell you, because it's good to know. Because about medicines, this is how the pharmaceutical companies get doctors to recommend a certain medicine, I say. Because let's say for the cholesterol, they did the test with many thousand people in one group who didn't take the cholesterol medicine, and then in another group who took the cholesterol medicine. In the one group with 10,000 people, 3 people died, and the other group, 6 people died. That is 0.03% different. This is 3 promille, as we say in Norwegian. This is nothing. There is no difference. So obviously, you cannot sell your product if there is no difference, because that was an objective risk. So the objective risk is not what they're telling you. They're telling you the subjective. And I will tell you the math. So in one group of 10,000, there were 6 people dying. And in one group of 10,000, there was 3 people dying. Literally no difference. Could be just any coincidence, but doesn't matter. 3 is half of 6. So they say that in the one group where the 3 people died was 50% improvement. So 50% effective medicine. This is subjective risk. And this is what they tell the doctors, because the real medicines, they are just, most of it is crap. It's toxic, it's has a positive charge, and you're most of the time much better without it. And the proof goes to the healthcare system. How many chronic diseases are cured in the healthcare system? We don't know any. They don't cure anything. Anything. They are very good if you have a cardiac attack and they have to open you up and replace the valve or heart. They are very good. Acute medicine, very good. Chronic medicine, horrible, because they don't work with the right system. They don't consider the body holistically. They don't care about food. They don't care about water. They don't care about energy. They don't care about sunlight. They don't care about going outside, which is the basic medicine of it has always been and will always be. So anyway, you need to support your system in general. And when your system is more in balance and happy with the situation, you might reduce your cholesterol. Well, how extremely high it was, I don't know. At one person out of 100,000, they have hypercholesteremia in Norwegian. I don't remember English one, but it's close. And they might need pills, but that's 1 of 100,000, and I'm pretty sure you're not one of them.
Wow, thank you. That was really useful information. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Jan Frederik. And that brings me to the next question. Because you know that all pharmaceuticals and toxins have a charge to them, right? And these poisons and toxins interfere with our very being, with our spiritual body, mental body, physical body, interfere with our energetic field. And our own frequencies, as well as they are damaging to our health, to our cells. So what in degree can Healy and the deep cycle help to clear this out of the system? And can Healy as a frequency device help in this process?
Well, you know, yes, of course, and we did touch it. We can touch it from another angle. Obviously, if we strengthen the kidneys, which excretes the toxins, so we strengthen the body's ability to get rid of the shit. Well, the best thing is not to get it in at all, of course. So,
is it possible, like the frequency to cancel out the negative frequencies or the negative charge?
Well, you mix up the word negative here, because we want to have a negative charge. But we don't want to have a negative influence. Right? But the negative influence from the medicines are actually positive charge. These are oxidants, and that's electron stealers. So they steal your electrons, but we want to have a lot of electrons, because when we have a lot of electrons, that's physical energy in the body. So this is the balance between electrons and oxidants and stealers. So that's why, for example, a lot of people have been selling alkaline water, you know, because they understand the principle that the body needs to have a charge, and if there is a charge in the water, it's weakly alkaline, which is natural for the blood and the lymph and so on, if it's not dirty. But the problem is that in this alkaline systems, you drink it, you disrupt your stomach acid. So if you drink alkaline water before you drink eat food, it will reduce your acid on the stomach, and then you cannot digest the food properly, and you might get inflammations of the gut. So you need to be very acidic in the stomach and very alkaline in the small intestine. So it's important to understand that we need to have this balance in the body. And everything going on in the cell is transport of electrons and currents. And of course, it's more complicated than this, but taking the ATP cycle, ATPase, which is the main energy producer of the cell, that is in fact electrons moving through a chain of, let's call it proteins. So it's moving from one, and then it's being deduced, somebody is stealing it, and then it takes another molecule like NADH, NADH, and it gets from hydrogen, it gets an extra electron negative charge, and then it continues to work. So we need this balance, and Healy and the frequency and the microcurrents will help the body to achieve this charge and to discharge the positive molecules, which are oxidants and toxins and so forth. But again, if you go to the doctor and they say, oh, you have a problem, I'm going to give you this one pill and everything will be okay, and I can promise you it's a lie. It's not like that. So if you have a detox problem and you buy yourself a Healy and you think you solved all problems, that's a lie. So you have to understand again, this is it's supporting you with energy to do work. It's supporting you with frequency to balance your system, because it's getting out of balance very much from emotions. So if you take a very important emotion, which is stress and anxiety, which is two sides of the same thing. What happens in the body when you're stressed? Are you stressed because you hurt your arm very bad? Are you stressed because somebody is threatening you? Are you stressed because you have an emotional trauma? Are you stressed because there is chronic Wi-Fi in the room? Are you stressed because there is bad water or whatever? When you are stressed, the body does the same thing for all of us. So this is general. This is good to know. So your kidney system thinks, oh, I'm going to be eaten by a lion, so I'm not going to detoxify or go to the toilet right now. And your stomach thinks, oh, I'm not going to digest food now because I don't have time. I need to survive. I need to run. And your liver won't do nothing either. So in this, when you are stressed, you don't absorb nutrients, you don't detoxify, and you don't digest food properly. What happens is you put blood out in the muscles and to the brain and to the heart. Why? So you can do a fight. And most of us, or let's say many of us, in more or less time during a day, we are in the stress mode. So the more you are in the stress mode, the less you detoxify, and it doesn't help you to do anything unless you can do something about your emotion and your stress. So the emotion of anxiety belongs to the kidney system, and to the kidney system belongs the bladder, the urinary system, the uterus, and so on. So if you have a sexual trauma, it can block the energy flow of the kidney system. So this is a typical thing. And if you have a deep sorrow, you don't, you have more than your shoulders can carry, we say in Norwegian. It influences your neck and your lungs. So that's something these frequencies also support. They support the feelings that steals the energy from these organ systems. Yeah, so that's one thing. There's a program called Pure Calm. So that's why I said everything is not the same for everybody. If you're chronically stressed, you probably need Pure Calm more than you need the other programs. Until you are more relaxed, you learn to breathe and to talk slowly and to just relax. Because when you relax, the body can start detoxifying. Then maybe it's the right time to do the kidneys. So in my clinic, I do 5 measurements and I spend 3 hours with every new client. And that includes first treatment, it includes recommendations on minerals, water, supplements, and the treatment, a tailored treatment for you. And of course, some people I see, they're so stressed that I have to deal with the stress. I have to get them calm. So when I see these people sleeping in my chair, in my message share, I know I hit the button. I hit the right button. And some people, they have so much pain that, the program Free Flow is great for pain, that unless I turn off the pain, I cannot turn off the stress, and they cannot detoxify. And they cannot charge, which is essentially what we want to do. Detoxification is just getting rid of some problems so you can charge and get in balance. So detoxification is no target. It's just something you need to clean your house once in a while to have a functional house. So then I do the free flow, or not the free flow, I do specific, but for this person, but many of the frequencies in free flow. And again, most of the time, if I ask people, how's your foot, how's your back, and how's your neck, when they are just done the payment, and they say, 90% of the time, they say, oh, it's better. Or I say, oh, my foot is good. So it's very good. And these are one of the things the Healy does have a certification for, is pain. So okay, maybe it gives you a larger picture, I hope.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and like seeing that whole connection with everything, and the importance of actually working emotionally, mentally, you know, and spiritually, and being connected with the heart to calm down, and all of these things. And I think Healy is great because it has a lot of different programs, not only in the deep cycle, but the release program I think is great for this, to release stress and anxiety. And then you have these well-being programs, and there's so many other programs too to help with exactly what you're talking about now. So yeah, that's so important. And I think that's why it works so well too, Healy, because it takes care of all those things so that the body can start to operate as it's supposed to, because the body is doing it naturally, right?
Yeah. Supposed to. Well, one thing worth mentioning is the gold cycle and the deep cycle are connected. And this is because Nuno is an old friend of mine, and we worked together for many years, and we exchanged information and friendly pictures, etc. Up to this day. So Nuno was a part of my. It was inspiration for me, and sort of a mentor. And so he made the gold cycle, which are let's say less comprehensive. So, but touches many of the same themes, and he thinks the same way. So you'll find good correlation between those two cycles. But the deep cycles, they have they go deeper. They have more frequencies and aim, let's say, a little bit broader yeah. So that's the connection between these two programs, gold cycle and deep cycles. And from what I've seen, there are a lot of programs made for Healy, but not all are made by a therapist with experience in the holistic thinking. They can be good, but I say to people who come to my clinic and maybe they buy a timer home because it's a good device. You don't need a mobile, but it's more expensive. It has some more features on one hand on the frequency and some less on the other than Healy, but doesn't matter. And they say, oh, what should I do? And you need to tailor a program. I say, well, let's do the deep cycle for half year, and then we talk about it, because most of it is covered. And if they come back and they have some treatments, and I see there is some very specific needs, and they maybe need, kind of opposite things combined in some program, I can do it. But you don't need 100 programs. You need a couple of programs which does the job for you. And when you are a little bit in a different season, let's say you are in the summer season, you have different needs, and your cycle is differently, and your body are very different. That's why most of us produce kids at the end of the summer and the early fall. And everybody's in good shape. And then we have the hysteria with the influenza around Christmas, because we don't get the frequency and the energy from the sun on the body, which is needed. So this is also important to remember, if you don't go out and during the winter time and you don't get the light in your eyes, you don't get it on the body, your hormone system is going to be out of balance, your internal clock is going to be out of balance, and you can compensate and help it with Healy, but you still need a sunlight. The sun is the sun. And if you think back to the water in the body, 90% of the molecules are water. It needs structure and it needs to be pure, and it needs to have saturated hydrogen and oxygen. There are ways to produce water, so one of the best investment you can do if you want to start putting money into something else than the Healy as a basic energy balancing, stimulating, supporting device, which it is, it's good. That would be start to drink proper water. What's the next best investment you could do? It's get out, get sun, because you need it. Next best thing you can do is to get in contact with the earth. So you buy yourself an earthing sheet, and if you can go out, if you're really a tough guy and you like to go barefoot in the winter, you can do it, or else you need to get grounded inside, because that's a synchronization from the natural frequencies of earth and the energy from the earth and the microcurrent from earth. And if you take pure water, which is totally pure, it doesn't contain any minerals, nothing, H2O, and maybe some structures, and you try to do the Healy, you wouldn't be living, but let's say you put it in a glass of water, the current doesn't go, nothing happens. So this is also on the list when people come to my clinic. Most people are lacking the essential minerals. So you lack good water and you lack the minerals. This is like your lack ground, what do we call it? Grunnmur, the foundation of your building. So your foundation of the building, how do you make it? Concrete. You make it from water, sand, let's call it minerals, concrete, let's call it nutrition. If you don't have these three things, it doesn't help you to have a good architect telling you with the information and telling you the guys how to do it. That's the energy and frequency you get from Healy. But if you don't have the foundation, you can't build the structure. You see? So this is what we do when we measure people. We need to find out what's lacking in the foundation, what's stressing you. If you are stressed, what's the number one button to hit to get you in a good cycle.
Wow, fantastic. I just want to ask you one question around that, where you say programmed water or structured water. Can we use Healy to activate the structure of the water?
Well, yes or no. I would say not my favorite, and this puts me in not popular setting, but first of all, there is no specific documented structuring program for the water. Secondly, you need pure water, so you need the water to be pure first of all.
Yeah, but if you have pure water, if you have a machine that is purifying and doing all of these things, can you then
say all these things? I just wonder what you are saying, but anyway. So pure.
I, for example, use Enagic, the Enagic water purifier, and
so you need to put it in neutral, and you need to have good filters, and then of course the purification is many levels. And I studied water for years because it's very interesting substance for me and a lot of other people. So I could talk too much about it, but let's say. There is one thing about cleaning the water as a physical taking away the substance. And that goes down to, let's say, we're talking about very small thing. A micron is very small. Let's say, I don't have the hair up there, but anyway, one hair is about 40 micron. So when you have a filter doing down to 0.1 micron, you are below the threshold for bacteria, fungus, virus and all that shit. If you have a filter doing 5 micron, you don't take away this stuff. So this is the first when they say purification or not. So are you really purified physically? Yes or no? Not sure. Check it out. Because you need to get below this, down to this level. And I could recommend you products and things, and I can give some links from some protocols where they start with a cycle, detoxification cycle, what you need to support it. I have it all on the online. I can show you if you want it. And then the second thing is the informational component of the water, because water has memory. So they did studies of water, and a lot of different studies, a lot of different people, and every drop of water has different information. Think about it. Every drop. And it remembers where it has been and what you have done to it. so we had, when I was small, I was not from a very Christian family, but at some times there were places where people were thanking God for the food and thanking God for the water. Oh, tack och Gud för maten. And the interesting thing is that when you say thank you to the water, I'm so happy you're there, you're so pure, you're so nice, you are my life substance, you are cleaning and helping my body, the water starts to change. You know, if you just drink water like it's piss or Coke or whatever, that's a different thing. So that's about the information. And you have devices who can zero out this information which you don't want, from chemicals and from so on. So this is the next level. And then, but the easiest thing is to get it properly clean. We have cleaning systems which are not very expensive, affordable, making it real clean. And then you invest in a good molecular hydrogen generator. Because when you have a molecular hydrogen is the smallest molecule we have. Hydrogen in pure form has 2 electrons, so it has a negative charge and it's a donor. So it's giving you a charge. And it's 300 or 400 times more potent than vitamin C, which is very important. So when you take vitamin C and antioxidants, you support your body with electrons. You see, you support your body electric. It's electric, always electric. That's the thing, always electric. So when you drink hydrogen water all the time, you're giving your body electrons to do job, neutralize toxins on the spot. You don't get sick from hydrogen water because you cannot have detoxification reaction, because it doesn't pull out any toxins. It just neutralizes them where it meets. So it meets in the blood, the oxygen, boom, it's gone. Thank you. Boom, moving on. And then need more of it. So this is on the top list of, let's say, 10 things I recommend people, you see. Okay, I think that was, and anyway, when it's all the microbubbles are coming in, also the structure is changing. So you're doing something to the structure. And we also find a substance now which is cheap, because advanced structuring is expensive, where you can take a couple of drops in the water and leave it for half an hour, and let's say mosaic layers in the water, which are the real interesting structures, start to occur, and you have structured water for a low cost. And if anybody read the book Fourth Phase of Water of Pollock, they will learn this simple fact, and I can explain it very simply and quickly. If I cut my arm here with a knife, there is no water coming out in the stream like a garden fontaine. Why is there no fountain of water coming out? Because 99% of the molecules are water. So why is it not pouring out like this? Why is it just a little bit and then closing? Why? Didn't the doctor tell you? No, didn't, because all the water inside the cells are structured gel water. So the closer you can get to this structure of water before you ingest it, the less work it is for the job, for the body to make this gel water. And when the cells have good gel water, you know what happens? Yes, you know it, because I already said it first. It increases the potential of the cell. So it makes energy. It stores energy, makes energy. So one thing you can do when you treat yourself with Healy, you help your body structure the water. So that's much more effective than putting the electrodes in the water. I would do other things with the water than this. And sending information to the water is fine, but if you pray to it, it's much stronger.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you.
And another thing is that you should be aware of, and people hate it when I say it, so sorry. Anyway, is that you have a chronic Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connection from the Healy to the mobile and vice versa. And both of them are sending signals all the time. And if I had an apparatus here, I do have apparatus, maybe I have a battery in it, I could give you the sound. But it's like you go into orchestra and nobody's playing the same tune and everybody's shouting. This is the frequency that's exchanged there. This information is not good. Mm. So if you want to improve the effectiveness of the treatment, you make sure you turn off your Wi-Fi, you find a quiet place at home, you take the mobile and you keep only the Bluetooth on. You use some protection devices which eliminate some features of the frequency, which is not good, which is about spin. It's a little bit too long to go into scientific, but anyway, you can do it. It's not expensive. And even better, you pack it in a Faraday's cage, or we're going to start selling it in pouches. You can put the mobile and the Healy in and you just have the cables out. So you start the program, you do everything, put it in, quiet, not any noise coming out.
Wow.
So that's why when I see people at the conference and they're promoting Healy and they have it in the pocket close to the heart, I go and say, hey, don't do it, you know, because you don't want to have the Bluetooth directly to your heart.
Yeah.
Because that's not the good frequency. The frequency from the cables, yes, thank you. Frequency from the Bluetooth, no, thank you.
Yeah, I hope that will change in the future, that they can do differently in that sense, because a lot of people are reacting to that. But what are you thinking around that? Because I've been reading a lot about scalar waves and the 0 point, what do you call it, field, that it actually creates a shield to protect you from Bluetooth and electromagnetic smog and stuff. You don't think that the crossover mirror inside Healy and the scalar waves that Healy has is actually also protecting us a little bit from that Bluetooth, or not? What are your thoughts around this?
Well, scalar waves is a kind of large discussion, and scalar waves in the US is not the same as scalar waves in Russia. Yeah. Russia are very competent in scalar waves, and there is no scalar wave generator inside the Healy. So I don't know where you got that from, or maybe somebody calls it scalar waves, but that's just a matter of definition. But no, I don't think the crossover mirror. Let me tell you what the crossover mirror is doing.
Yeah, please.
That's better. Instead of what it's not doing.
Yeah.
So the crossover mirror is like a circular mirror made of aluminium, and it stops influences from the outside of high frequency. And it reflects whatever is going on inside back to itself. So it's kind of a protection. It's an EMF protection of the signal inside the noise generator. You see? So it's do you want to know how it works, the noise generator? Because it sounds let's say if you explain it to people, they get very skeptical, but it works. That's the interesting thing. Do you want to hear this story about how it works? Yes or no? Okay. So anyway, in the original time error systems, the first system was the medical, was purely informational, didn't have energy, or let's say physical energy. And they had two crossover mirrors with two noise diodes, and it has one diode with laser with a mirror where let's say the universe can decide if the beam is going one way or the other. So that's also a way to get a completely random signal. And these generators are made to make completely random signal. Do you know all what is random? it means it's a lotto system that cannot be influenced. But as you know, if you play lotto, when they make the wheel and they make everything, they have to be very careful that there is a little bit no unbalance in it, because if it's unbalance, it will not be random. And for lotto, you want it to be completely random. And the crazy thing here is that inside the cluster of mirrors, the diodes making the signal, it's completely close to random. You know, as close as you get. You are even closer in the big systems, but you're quite close to random inside there. This is the point with the mirror. So this sounds, what do we need something totally random inside the device for? And this is, now you're wondering, and that's what you do in the resonance. This shows you the aura. This shows you what program to choose. It's the random process. But there is nothing random in the universe. That's the interesting thing. So the reason they found out about this technology came from another older technology that I tell you about, the research project that comes from Princeton Pearl Institute. In Princeton Pearl Institute, over 20 years, they did more than 1 million tests of people influencing matter, influencing random numbers, and so on. So they need to make sure that the random numbers were random, completely random. And it turned out after a million tests, 1.5 million tests and 10 years of research, that yes, we can influence matter around us. We can influence matter. We can influence, and what is matter? Energy moving in vibrations. So we can influence ourselves by our consciousness and emotions and intentions. And we can influence the Healy, and the Healy can react to this. How does it react to it? Well, let's say, yeah, I will tell you about this experiment. They placed, after this Princeton Pearl project was finished, there was another researcher who placed completely random event generators around the world, 200 or 300, and it has been last for many, many years. So it's no doubt that they are working. And then they looked at numbers, and inside the computer, as you know, a random would be 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. So it would be completely random, no pattern. And it turned out that when Princess Diana died, these random numbers were not so random. So the people, the consciousness of everybody around the Earth influenced the small particles moving inside the random event generators, which you also have in Healy, you see? So, so it means information influences the matter, the energy. And then they found out that when Obama was put in place, there was not random, and they had many, 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 and they still go. So they see that when there are big things happening in the world, the whole, let's say, unified consciousness is influenced, the whole consciousness around Earth. When something goes on in you, you influence your surroundings. And if you ask the device, tell me, I give you a frequency from 0 to 10, and give this to Annette. Annette needs a frequency from 0 to 10. Give me a random number, and it gives you 8. And it asks this kind of question many times. And when you make this question many times and you make the statistics, you get the relevance. And you know about the relevance. You can get the relevance of the frequency, 90%, 99%, etc. I see it in the big systems. And the interesting thing is they are relevant for you. So this is because the information for you, the information of the frequency, influence the numbers in the event generator. That's why you have the crossover mirror, not for EMF protection. Very long answer for this one.
Yeah, but that's fantastic. It's really so nice. We have so much to learn, you know, about Healy and to learn how to go deeper into it and understand the whole picture and everything, you know. So this has been so helpful, and we really appreciate your time. I feel we could have been here for hours and hours and hours. We're just scratching the surface still. Yeah. And yeah, maybe you have some courses. I don't know if you do anything like that.
Well, I would suggest to you that we share some links, and I go in depth on these things on a couple of big seminars. One was for 700 people in Germany, and in
Yeah.
2018, and the one was live for internationally in 2020. One is called the Let There Be Light, because
Yeah.
all these waves are really light. And the other was called Frequency Foundation. And I suggest you see it. And if you want, I can also share you some links with typical protocols people need to do with the water and the minerals and all this. It's all on the site. And if you want to see the hydrogen things, you just tell me what you want and I'll make it for you. Put it there.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Annette, you have one last question. Do you have time for one last question? I know we are 5 minutes
sure.
over.
Do you want me to put it on a mail to you, or do you want me to put it in the chat? Or
You can maybe mail it to us. That would be
Yeah.
Yeah, I can put it in the messenger thing, and then you can share it.
Yeah, and then we will share it with the whole group. And yeah, and you, I guess you maybe have some newsletter thing or something that we can sign up with.
Yeah, you can sign up also there. Also, we that's one thing. And I urge you to read a small article down around the page. It says, if you're not Norwegian, you can use Google Translate. It says why we're doing what we're doing, because we don't want to sell anything to anybody we don't think they need, and we don't think is good. Because else, I could still be in the computer industry. I was inventor there doing good money, and instead I started with this, and I paid to do it for many years. So this was because I want to help people, and this was the motivation.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and it's so important.
We don't think it's good, and so if you ask me, I will recommend you. Some people, they don't need everything. Some people need some things. Most of us, they need some basic things, and that's when I put it in basic documents.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
thank you so much. So, yeah, Annette, the last question. Go.
Yeah, okay, so this question was from Lorena, and she asked, what if someone had an injured kidney? Once when I was pregnant, I got an infection that went all the way to the kidney. I was told that my kidney will be a bit injured for the rest of my life. I sometimes notice a slightly pain. Can I still try to detox just like the other people?
Yeah, I would like to answer this in two parts, because there's two parts. First of all, there's a misunderstanding that the kidneys will never be well. This is bullshit. We know now from research that all cells of the body can be renewed. Brain cells, nerve cells, they take more time. You can have your new liver in 6 weeks. You can make a new inside of the intestines in 3 days. If everything is optimal, you see, if the terrain is optimal. So if you have out on the ground, you are a farmer, and the earth is full of bacteria, full of nutrition, the sun is there, no toxins, you put water and you put the seed, it's going to grow a beautiful plant. That's our cells. So if you make a beautiful environment for your cells, you're going to build new cells and repair. So you can repair your kidney. That's number one. So but what is the most important for the kidney? Everybody, can you say it loud together?
Water.
Yeah, good water. Enough good water.
Healthy water, clean water.
Clean water, good water, hygiene water. And like a very smart guy, remind me of sending you a link for the book, Dr. Jerry Tennant, Healing is Voltage. I had him in Norway 2010, I think. And he has a good saying, many good sayings. He says, if you're going to clean your car, would you rather wash your car in Coke or in water? So liksom det sier noe, says something that what you put in there, you need to clean your kidneys. So yes, maybe you start with the first protocol and you go carefully if you are concerned. Always clean the electrodes, clean the skin, and you put the current to the minimum. But yes, I would do kidney oil. You'd probably need kidney oil a little bit in the start, more and more, and then you can do 2-3 times per day for 5-6 days a row. After some weeks, maybe you need to do it for a couple of months. You supply the nutrition needed to build kidneys, you know, the foundation and the water, and you see, you won't have a problem with the kidney anymore. That's
exactly.
You can fix it.
So not much contradictions to use the frequencies, as long as you start really slowly, no matter what is going on, you know, and you do the right things and drink a lot of water and assist the body in all different ways. It's not.
Yeah, and the really, you know, what's the worst thing that's happened? Okay, you get a heavy detox reaction, and you might feel worse. And you know, there's the doctors, they forgot about it in the study, but it's a part of the study. It's called Herxheimer's reaction. Herxheimer's reaction, you can look it up. And this is what everybody is afraid of. That's why everybody is saying, oh, you shouldn't do this or shouldn't do that. Well, what's Herxheimer's? Well, you feel like shit and you feel really sick and you feel like you have all kind of things are wrong and you are toxic, your emotions are fucked up. You want to throw up or whatever, you know, and then you just need to say to yourself, okay, I'm really cleaning out. So, okay, I'm just going to do nothing and accept I feel like shit and it's going to go pass. This is the worst thing that's going to happen to you, you know, because it's much better to support your body to start to get rid of the things than just to leave it in there. Sometimes you feel worse in the beginning. Most people don't. Most people, they'll feel better quite quickly. And that's why Healy sells easily, because most people who try it, especially for pain and things, they feel better quite quickly.
Yeah, and I guess especially if we really kind of do the release and work emotionally and mentally and physically, and you work like holistically with yourself, I mean, it's going to be much easier to have a good detox process and a good detox journey. So, yeah. Yes,
of course, but you just don't forget about the simple things. One thing is to do holistic things, and that's about basic things. And, being out there and trying to connect some spirits or something, drink the water, get the minerals, do the protocols, stay calm. That's what's going to do it for your body. But like my last comment.
Yeah. I have one last question if I can, but you can.
Okay, you do that and I'll take my last comment.
Yeah, cool. I have one more question because, Healy is coming with these vitamins and mineral programs. Yeah. What do you think about that in frequency-wise for the body?
I don't think, well, if you need concrete, and you cannot have the information about the concrete.
Yeah. Do you think it can assist the what do you call it, absorption of the nutrients if you use them? Like.
Possibly. I have seen no scientific evidence for this.
Okay.
But it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. Some frequencies will help you to absorb things. For example, we have frequencies for magnesium. And again, this is who is the guy who's going to absorb the nutrients? It's in your digestive system. And who is going to decide how much you're going to have of these minerals in the body, in the salts? That's your kidneys. Yeah. So you support your kidneys, you support this balance. Mm. If you don't have the magnesium, there's 700 processes in your body that don't work. 700 from one mineral.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, well, okay, my last comment, I think. A good saying from my friend Nuno, he says, well, Jan, remember, what is your life now? Are you here because of your spirit, or are you here because of your body? Mm. You are here because of your body. Your life right now is you here in this body. That's your focus. That's what you do now. Whatever you're going to do later or some other time, that's okay. But now you're here in this body, and that's where you experience everything. That's where you have your emotions. That's where you develop, and that's where you do everything. So this is the thing. Everybody thinks it's so fine if you're not occupied and interested in the body, but that's bullshit, because this life is your body.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I think that's so perfect to end it like that, because that's exactly what it is. We're living here and now in this body. It's a reason for that, unless we wouldn't have been in this body. So I think that's perfect to end it like this. Yeah. Thank you so much. This was so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're so happy and we appreciate your time. I know we're 15 minutes over. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you a lot.
Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.